Hey everybody, and welcome back to Black Diamond Farms. So today we're in a barn. We're gonna do some feeding, some barn cleaning, and just what we do on a normal winter day. So come along for the ride. Hopefully you enjoy this video. I know some of these guys. Oh, good morning. Can't wait to see ya. Hope you stick around for the whole video. Oh, good morning, Miss Izzy. Good morning. Oh, good morning. She's happy to see us. Oh, she's a goofball. So yeah, come along, see what we can get done here. When we're feeding our grain in the morning, this is the little boys. They get their own separate tubs. So what this is a calf, unmedicated calf mix, and then we mix a little bit of our fitting ration, our fitting feed on top of it. So then we'll mix them both up. Keep that in the show box. And over here, in our big set of grains, what we do is we have these laid out, who gets what. These two go on the tiles, this one goes in a trough, and that one goes in a trough. Kind of a little silly way of doing it, but it works really good for us. That way we know who's getting what, try to measure it out well. There's approximately, I believe it is just shy of 3 pounds per full scoop. That's kind of a good way of knowing what you're given per scoop, and then you divide that out per bucket, so that way you know what you're getting and what you're given. So the two red buckets get 3 scoops apiece, and then the green and the purple bucket get 2 scoops apiece. Okay, so now we got everybody's grain all prepared and ready for them. They're all sitting here waiting for it. The 2 youngest boys are up in the feed alley, like they are half the time, so we'll feed them up there. Then we'll bring our 3 heifer calves out that we had this spring. 113, 114, 115. Tilly, Nina, and Daisy, they'll all come out here. Quite a bit lately we've been bringing Lily out here as well. Graying her by herself seems to be really helping her body structure again. Looks like she had lost a little bit, so we're trying to build her back up. So that's what we'll do. We'll bring them out here. They'll be out here. The gate to go out of the barn is shut, and a chain thrown across, so that way there's no chance of them getting out of the barn. They'll eat out here. The rest of them will eat in there. So it seems to work pretty good. All right, who wants to come out first? Come on, little girls. Come on, little girls. Good girl. Come on. Come on, get her. Where's Lily at? Where's Miss Lily? Where's Hillbilly Lily at? Let me go get Miss Lily. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Bird. Hi, Birdie. There you are. Come on, you gotta go out. Don't you now want to go out? Go outside or go out? Come on. Go ahead. Don't hurt anybody going over. They're just standing in the way because they're ready for grain too. Come on. Come on. Go. Come on. Go. Come on. Go. She snuck out yesterday. You coming, Lily? Miss Izzy snuck out, and I thought it was Izzy. I thought was Lily, and I was wrong. Come on. Come on. You coming out or no? If not, I'll let Izzy out. You coming? Come on. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. All right, a little news flash. Black Diamond Farms merch. You got black hoodies, gray hoodies, black t-shirts, logo on the back, Black Diamond Farms on the front. If you're wanting hay before Christmas, you better hurry up. Can't guarantee shipping before Christmas, but if you're local, there's going to be a link down in the description. There's going to be an email. Send us your size. See if we have your size in stock. If not, we'll get it ordered. Check it out. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. More than This here is some distillers and cornmeal grain, so this is what we're starting to feed to Ole, which is right here. I'm going to pour a little down in front of him, mix it in. There you go, bud. I'm also going to start feeding it to George, or Bert as well. Basically, all that distiller's grain and cornmeal is a little bit more fat content to them. They're now starting their finishing ration. Some people use a pre-bought amount. That is what I was talking about in the previous video of what we feed. That's it. You know, it's ground down to almost a powder. The cornmeal is going to be the white portion of what's in there because it's corn ground down to a very, very, very small amount, and then the distillers is going to be almost like a darker brown in there. So the distiller's grain comes from when they make ethanol. That's a byproduct off the ethanol plant, is what they call distiller's grain, and then they dry it down because it comes off wet. So they dry it down, and it's a great source of protein for the cows. I said, works really good for us. We'll usually start it 60 days in there between before it's time for them to go to the butcher. Right now they're looking at just shy of 75 days or so. But that's why we're starting this now. We've been starting it this week, just a little bit here, and then as we right here in the next couple weeks, we'll start pulling them out separately as well and feeding them separate. So that way, yeah, it's getting noisy. You know that? So that way they're getting more of it, getting more grain per pound of the animal. Like this way, you know, we kind of know what they're roughly getting, but then we know they're actually getting more once we have them out separately. We can really measure it out well for the two of them. So what they're getting fed on here is what we call tiles. So they lick them clean. They'll actually get them very, 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 very clean. Once they get them clean, we will then put hay down for them on the tile, and then they'll eat the hay the rest of the day. So once they're done eating their grain, we'll start to push hay up for them. This bale is getting down to the end, as you can see. You know, not very large, it's just the center core now. We rip it off and feed it that way. As you can see, we get a little bit of waste here in the center. Not very much. Usually we'll make them clean that up And that's that 1%, 2% waste that I talked about is right here. It's not very much. And of course you always do get a little bit pulled out into each area. Not very much, but you do get some. Now that everybody's fed, it's time to go finish cleaning the barn. So everybody's all preoccupied up here, eating hay, behaving. Hi, Miss Dory. How are you, Dory? So that's what we're gonna do. Time to go clean some of the after product of eating hay. Now this is what it usually looks like after a normal night of cows in the barn. Last night we bedded this all up with the dry bedding, which you can still see some of the dry bedding in here. But yeah, so we'll get that all scraped out and get new bedding in there. What we're wanting to do is when we're cleaning this stuff out, we mainly don't want to leave the dry bedding behind and just take the wet bedding. As you can see here, this spot's still pretty dry, so we'll leave that behind. This spot over here, we cleaned everything up because it was wet. What we're using here is it's called a manure fork. It's plastic and it allows, so these fingers will bend here, which will allow them to really break. Unfortunately, we use these probably a little more than they should be, and they end up breaking back here. So we'll zip tie them together to get by. Basically what we're doing is when we scoop that up, we can shake out the dry bedding, allows the dry bedding to go down through. The wet stuff and the actual manure itself will stay in here, and we'll throw that into whether we're throwing it into the bucket of the tractor, in the wheelbarrow, whatever we're doing. Now for the funnest part of it all, bedding them up. I don't know if you can tell how dusty it is on your guys' end of this, but it's usually pretty dusty. And there it is once it's all bedded up. And you can still tell a big difference. That side to this side. All nicely done up. Usually takes about 4 to 5 scoops of it to get it. These guys, for whatever dumb reason, love to eat it. I don't know why. But he'll stick his head back up here in a second. Yep. Licking his chops a little bit. it's all done. All except for right here in the doorway. A lot of times we don't do it, especially right now. It's been not windy, but pretty sustained winds. Hi, Bert. We threw some up there on the concrete because it acts pretty almost like a dry grit, so keep them from slipping and sliding. So there she is, all done and clean. Hallelujah. Alright, so after our last video of us when we were spreading the bedding, when you seen Becky and I doing it, and we said how dusty it was, I got a question down in the comment section on what it was, what the bedding consists of. So the bedding is just a byproduct from the pellet mill. It's basically just caught up in all their dust collection. So it's just dust, switchgrass or blue stem fines in it. You know, anything you might catch in a dust collector on a pellet mill is what it is. So I'm going to show you a little bit of it. So this is what it is. Just basically almost like a powder. You can kind of see some of the fines in there. Then it's just dust. The rest of it's just essentially almost like dirt and dust. And you can see some of like the little chip fines in there of what would be maybe switchgrass, blue stem. It just depends on what they're grinding for that said mixture for those pellets or whatever they're making. So that's what it is. Not much to it. It sure does work pretty good. Alright, well thanks for watching today, guys. I appreciate it. Hopefully you've seen what we get to do here on a daily basis. Kind of sometimes a little bit of a poopy job. Dealing with her some days can be a real pain in the butt too. But hey, like I said, thanks for coming along. Hope to see you in the next one. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Have a good one, guys.